Hello, and let's continue with our faction rules focus. Today we will go through the Mercenaries rules as well as the update for the Red Brigade as we talked about last weekend. And they already got a new unit, which makes the Red Brigade almost as big as some of the other factions in terms of how many units they have. And it's this beauty, the Crimson Communicant. And as you can see, he has a big bell and he has a wheel with his dolls on it. And Westphalia are really, if every model they do is up to this quality, I'm very much looking forward to it. He looks great. He has that ding dong, your religion is wrong bell and the rules to match it. You can go look at the rules. And as we can see, the equipment, he can be equipped with any weapon, armor and equipment from the new Antioch Armory. They always carry an exorcism bell. See below. Before we go below, he has a movement of 6, ranged -1 dice, +1 dice in melee and a 40mm base. So what does the bell do? The bell always takes the use of one hand of the communicant. The communicant can make one offhand attack with the bell. It causes no damage. But any enemy on a 40mm base or smaller hit can be moved d3 inches in any direction. This can break them out of melee, allowing free attack. Okay, it triggers as if they fled from combat, so you can hit them again. Super cool. Falling down into hazardous terrain, etc. It cannot be made to move the model into another melee combat, however. Alright. So if you're up, if he gets up on a hill or a building, he can ding dong people down. That's very fun. Yeah, I like the bell rules for sure. And this is the thing with Trench Crusade, like so many units have a special niche kind of fun rule like this, and for 65 ducats with strong, tough strength through pain, the Crimson Communicant adds +1 dice to its melee characteristic for each one blood marker. What? And if you remember, the Red Brigades always starts with a blood marker on it as well, so if you put one blood marker on him, he starts with +2 dice in melee, and he can ding dong people and attack them again. This is very, very good for 65 ducats, I feel. It maybe should have been glory power, like you buy it with glory instead. Yeah, we will have to see. Very fun though. Let's move on to the mercenary rules. Mercenary rules. So, mercenaries are units that you can buy in your campaign for glory points instead of ducats, and you earn glory points from doing cool stuff during the missions. What kind of mercenaries can you buy? Let's go through them. Let's begin with the combat medic. They can be hired by the Trench, Pilgrim, Warband only. It's a 6 inches movement with 0 dice on both, -1 armor and a 25mm base. They carry a Misericordia and a medikit. They wear a gas mask and a suit of standard armor, which is reflected on the profile above. I appreciate very much these clarifications after playing 40k and Old World and so long. When do you calculate items or not? Like, it just says here. It's built in. Don't worry. You cannot modify the equipment, armor and weapons of the medic in any way. Fair enough. What does it do? Abilities. Finish the fallen. Unless the target has keyword demonic or black grail, add +1 dice to any injury roll the medic makes in melee combat against opponents who are down. Alright, so if you face an opponent that isn't black rail or demonic and they are down, the combat medic gets an advantage to kill it. Not a huge thing, but fun. Expert medic. The medic adds +1 dice whenever they use a medikit to aid friendly models. Let's see, what does a medikit do? Medikit. Rules with a medikit can take a risky action to remove 1 blood marker from any friendly model, including themselves. So, you get a +1 dice when doing this risky action to remove a blood marker. You can also allow a friendly model who is down to regain their footing. I don't feel like this is a huge thing, but if you're playing with lots of models and you have this combat medic like running around helping everybody, it might be worthwhile. I haven't played enough yet to know, but I'll probably learn soon enough. Very cool model. That Misericordia, very helpful knife. This dude. Look at this artwork. The Witchfinder General, I want to say, but it's called the Witch Burner. There's a great song called Witchfinder General by the band Witchfinder General. I recommend it. Listening to it and looking at this and just having a great time. Yeah, but what's his rules? As if it matters. 5 glory points and can be hired by New Antioch and Trench Pilgrim warbands only. They are field officers of the Inquisition. They are tasked with hunting down and punishing witches, warlocks and heretics that cannot be brought to face justice by conventional means. And remember that conventional means are pretty crazy to begin with. As the earlier model we talked about, or the penitents, and yeah, this guy must be some kind of special. On the battlefield, they have the power to channel divine retribution on those deemed to have transgressed against God, causing sinners to burst into flames with mere words of condemnation. Since none are sinless, none are saved from their words. Alright, so he can just... I guess he is very pure himself, or maybe he can do it on himself as well. But he just punishes everyone by flame. He has a 6-inch move, 0 dice range, +1 melee, 2 armor, and 32mm base. He is equipped with the reinforced armor, he wears a helmet and carries a war gavel. You cannot alter their armor in any way. Alright, the war gavel, we'll see it below. But his abilities are Divine Judgment. The Witch Burner can select any model in the opposing warband within 24 inches, even if hidden or out of sight. This is very fun. Divine Judgment, you cannot hide. Bring the judgment of heaven upon them with a litany of condemnation. This is a risky action. If successful, the model suffers 1 blood marker. If they are heretic, black rail or demonic, they suffer 2 blood markers. As it bursts into celestial flame. I'm just thinking of the at the gate model, by the light of Christ. This holy fire even affects units that are immune to fire weapons. So if you are immune to fire, not holy fire though, ceremonial duty. The Witch Burner has taken vows to persecute heretics with extreme prejudice. Nothing will stop this holy task. He is immune to fear. Fear is -1 dice in melee, and he doesn't care. However, he does not have fear himself, so he doesn't do it to anyone else. Dignified conduct. Due to the dignity of their status, I love this, the Witch Burner cannot take the dash action. He just moves slowly, like Jason, and you're out. The gavel, what does it do? The staff of the Witch Burners is both mark of their office and weapon imbued with the wrath of God. If the Witch Burner hits an enemy with the Gavel of Justice, the target of the attack automatically sustains Divine Judgment as explained in the abilities, even if the attack did no damage. This does not count as the Witchburner having used the Divine Judgment action. Thus, the Witchburner can potentially cause multiple divine judgments during a single action. So, you can do your Divine Judgment, which is a risky action. You can hit somebody, and that itself triggers another. Let's move on. The Tank Hunters and the Ammo Crate carrier. These were the first models for the Kickstarter they did a while back, and they're pretty cool. It has 6 inches movement, +1 dice in ranged, +1 dice in melee, -1 armor, and a 40mm base. It is armed with an anti-material rifle and a helmet. They count as being armed with 2 trench clubs in melee. Its fists are deadly weapons. Yeah, because their skin are so tough. Their flesh is hard as iron, exactly. So communicants are considered to be wearing standard armor, as noted in their profile. You cannot alter this in any way. They do have strong. The communicant ignores the effect of keyword heavy on any weapon. They are tough, and tough is like I like to think of it as an extra life. Like if you go down the first time, you don't go down. You're just or if you're killed for the first time, you aren't killed, and you're down instead. And a miracle of regeneration. At the start of the activation, a communicant may remove 1 blood marker from themselves. Very good, super tanky. And what does the rifle do? That's the most interesting thing, isn't it? Let's see. It's a two-handed weapon with a range of 36, very long. It has a +1 die to injury roll, which is very good. It also has the keyword heavy, which it ignores, and it has the critical, which means it has another dice on a critical roll to hit. So if you're 12ing the hit, you're getting 2 extra. And its rules for this gun is it ignores armor. That's crazy. If you're facing something with machine armor with -3, it ignores it. Also, it has standard add 1 dice when rolling on the injury chart. The Mentalist Ammo Monk. These are ammo carriers, and the ammo is very, very holy and very, very dangerous and can explode spontaneously almost. They have undergone chemical communion with the infusion of the synthesized blood of a Metachrist. Christ blood gun armor. Ammo, I mean. These monks brave enemy fire and infernal terrors, committed to their holy task of bringing the wrath of Lord upon the heretics. Alright, what does it do? It has a 6-inch movement, -1 dice in both melee and ranged, and no modifier on the save at least, and 25mm base. They have no weapons, they wear a gas mask and carry the ammunition sacrament. You may not change their ornaments in any way. So what do we pay 2 glory for exactly? Faithful followers. When a friendly model within 1 inch of the monk is activated, you can declare that the monk is activated at the same time. You may then use the monk before taking any action or movement with the model you originally activated. This does not allow you to activate the monk more than once per turn. So it's almost like the fire teams, like you can activate together. And the ammunition sacrament is a risky action. The monk can provide a friendly model 1 inch of it with one of the following benefits. The chosen benefit lasts until the end of the targeted model's activation. What can it do? Bullet of the guided path. Whenever this model makes an attack with ranged weapon, +1 to hit. Super good. Cartridge of his wrath. Keyword shrapnel and blast to every ranged weapon this model is equipped with. That is brutal. And I saw somebody doing a combination with the train, the new train mission that has a gun on the train. If you have somebody wielding the gun on the train and this guy buffing it, that train gun will be brutal. But it was very fastly shot down by Thomas. He said no, not allowed. So, but it would have been a crazy combo. It also has the echo of his word. Whenever this model makes an attack with a ranged weapon, +1 die to injury roll caused by that attack. Yeah, you can pick and choose your Pokemon here to do whatever is needed in the situation. Pretty good. Yep, let's move on. This guy. Yeah, this guy. Oh, the Sin Eater. This is the first, but surely not least, mercenary that can be bought by the heretic side. It's a heretic, black grail, and the court of 7-headed serpent only. It costs 6 glory points, which is insane. It's a lot. Sin Eaters are horrific creatures. Once they were mortal men and women, but their overwhelming greed and hunger for human flesh tainted with sin, combined with the corrupting influence of the Hellgate, had turned them into a form that matches their inner foulness. They are swollen into monstrous proportions and are always at a point of nearly bursting, yet forever ravenous for more flesh of human sins to devour. The Sin Eater is one of the very few creatures that Beelzebub approves of his outside. Okay. He has a 6-inch movement, no range attack, +2 melee dice, -2 armor, and a 50mm base. It's equipped with a reinforced armor and a 2-handed tenderizer maul. You cannot alter this in any way. It is tough, surely. It has Devour the Guilty. As a risky action, the Sin Eater can attempt to consume a model friend, in which case the action is not risky. It's done by +1 dice. Okay, it gets bonus to eat friends or foe. That is on a 40mm base or smaller and within 1 inch. Yep. Remove the model from the table and set aside any markers that the model had. While it is devoured, the model cannot be targeted by an attack or ability. When activated, the devoured model may make 1 melee attack action, but the attack suffers -3 dice penalty when rolling to hit. A devoured model counts as being down for all rules purposes, and if it is still devoured at the end of the battle, it counts as being out of action. So you just eat it and hope it dies by the end of the game. Whenever the Sin Eater is activated, the devoured model suffers 1 blood marker automatically. The devoured model that cannot be avoided by any means. If the devoured model suffers a blood mark in this way, when it already has 6, it is immediately taken out of action and is no longer considered devoured. Okay, so you should hit it, it gains a few blood markers, and you eat it. It can instantly die almost, like in a turn or two. If the Sin Eater is taken out of action, the devoured model is placed down where the Sin Eater was. The Sin Eater can only ever have consumed 1 model in its belly. Imagine eating a 40mm base. Imagine eating the Witch Burner or something. Very, very fun. Vomit. The Sin Eater attempts to purge a model it has devoured as an action with +4 dice. If successful, the model controller places the model within 1 inch of the Sin Eater. If no suitable place exists, the vomit fails and it remains in the stomach. The vomited model is down, and the Sin Eater can only use this if it has. Okay, so you can spit it out whenever you want to. I guess. No, you can't place it in a dead space and let it fall, because I guess that doesn't count as a suitable space. But it would be cool. Maybe we can get a clarification. And Tenderizer Maul. This weapon has the same rule as the 2-handed weapon, but it is huge. It can make one melee attack action against each model. Alright then. 6 glory points. I mean, you have to buy this because it's so dang. It's so dang. This is the Warlock. It has fear, artificial and demonic. Alright, what does it do? 6 inches. Movement, +1 dice range, +1 dice melee, -2 armor, 40mm base. Counts as being armed with 2 swords in melee. Its arms are deadly weapons in their own right. Yes. It has a portal. As a risky action with +1 die, the Warlock can teleport up to 6 inches in any direction into a free space it can see, including into melee. The Warlock may bring a single enemy model that it is in melee with it, and has a base of 32mm or smaller. Okay, so you can teleport with an enemy model you're in combat with to like maybe get into safety to combat it alone. Barbed Embrace. Enemies cannot retreat from the Warlock. Additionally, if a model is able to move out of melee combat with the Warlock, because a special ability, they can't. Du får bara inte dra. Unholy Horror. It causes fear. Yep, obviously. Goetic Gaze. This is an action which is modified exactly the same way as a ranged attack. Executed against one enemy the Warlock can see within 24 inches. If successful, the model suffers 1 blood marker. If the success is critical, the target suffers 2. Its action can only be used against enemy models in melee combat without having to randomize the target. Last one. The coolest one, for obvious reasons. Love him. The Observer, 3 glory points. They listen to God with a giant headphones, helmet. And yeah. I love them, I love the lore, I love the model, and I love the rules. This is a speedy boy. In 8 inches movement with +1 ranged, +2 melee, -1 armor, 32mm base. Standard armor, Oculus helmet, which counts as both a combat helmet and a gas mask. Trench pole arm, inbuilt medikit. What more do you need? Well, he has abilities. Lightning speed. In melee, he may attack twice with its trench pole arm. What? For 3 glory? Temporal Fuge. Attacks the target observer suffer -1 hit. Eye of God. If the observer fails an action, you may reroll. However, if any of the dice you roll give a result of 1, there is a psychic backlash and the observer suffers a down. This is not good. But if any of the riddles, it's still worthwhile though. Voice of God. As a risky action, the observer may command any model on the board, friend or foe, that has not been activated this turn. If successful, that model is compelled by the divine words. The observer's activation immediately ends and the target activation begins immediately after. So you can do your thing, you kill everybody, and then you can do the Voice of God and forcefully activate an enemy model that you want him to waste his activation, or you can activate a friend and do something fun with your friend. Yeah, this is just the most flavorful character of the mercenaries, at least. However, even the slightest slip in their concentration means they might lose their voice of God that guides them, rendering them just as vulnerable to death as any other mortal soldier. Sad. Alright, and we have this last one with this amazing artwork. Look at this Mamluk. Mamluk Faris. This is the Iron Sultanate and New Antioch only. And these are old warriors, you might say, like they didn't die during the heretics invasion, and they just keep on space trucking. No, they keep on fighting in the wilds, in the heretic wilds, and they can help both Iron Sultanate and New Antioch to fight as well. They have a Gisail with Alchemist Ammunition. They wear a helmet and reinforced armor. In addition, before each battle, you may choose one of the following loadouts: pole arm and trench shield, sword and pistol, or a two-handed sword. They ignore the heavy on this weapon. Abilities: Zorn Sword. Mamluks can form a fire team with any elite model in the warband they are part of. This fire team is always in addition to any other fire team. If a Mamluk joins a New Antioch fire team, the model benefits from the coordinated fire team special rules. Super good. Martial prowess. Mamluks are disciples of Furiosa. The knightly disciple passed on through generations. They practice ceaselessly and have few equals. This gives their Gisails the keyword assault, as well as shield combo ability. Additionally, they suffer no penalties for fighting with their offhand in melee. Super good. Sword and pistol, super cool combo. Okay, Arabian Distrer. Unless the scenario prohibits the use of special deployment of infiltrators, which some of them do, you may deploy the Mamluk on any table edge as long as they are at least 8 inches away from any enemy model after infiltrators are deployed. Mamluk can also be deployed as normal. So you can use this to, if your enemy has infiltrators and like, haha, I'm gonna attack you from the back, Mamluk goes up from the sands and is awesome. We look forward to this model. Please send it my way right now. That's it for the mercenaries. I think you know which my favorite is. Really looking forward to affording to buy one of these in the campaign. Yeah. Well, which one is your favorite? Have you got any cool war stories? Did I miss something? I hope you enjoyed this rules overview. The poll showed that you wanted to have more of these. Is that true? Which one do you want to see next? Ja, vi hörs. Hej.